everybody. Good to be practicing again. Good to be back in Honhurst and another season underway. Really like our team. Really like our team. We probably practiced 35 times this summer. Gave them a little time off as they got back to campus. Yesterday was we're 42 days away from playing. You've got 30 practice opportunities in that 42 days. Yesterday was number one. We're healthy. Jaden Shute and Neo are coming back from minor stuff. They'll be full go, I expect, by the end of the week. So enough for me. You guys go ahead.
We'll start on the left side of the room, please. Raise your hands for questions. Start up front, Dave Cunningham.
Mike, obviously the news came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Kevin going to Wofford. What can you say about just him?
I'm thrilled for him. I'm thrilled for Wofford. He's a really good player for me. And he played in Iceland for a year, and I gave him his first job the next year. David, when we first caught wind of it last week, he came in and he was hesitant. We got a really good team. I love being here. And I said to him, hey, pal, these are hard. They're impossible to get. And if you've got a chance to get this one or any job, you've got to go. We went down and practiced. We came back and he was ready, full go, and it worked out. You know, timing is obviously terrible. You know what, David? That's part of it. We'll figure that part of it out. But he's got an opportunity to go back to his alma mater, a city and a college that he loves, and that's home for him and his wife, Caitlin. And we were together a long time. But I'm thrilled for Kevin, and again, I'm thrilled for Wofford. They got a really good coach.
You guys have spent so much time together
Yeah.
over the years. What makes you know that he will be a great coach?
He understands the place. He's really grown as a coach. I found myself relying on him more and more, and him coming with me here was very helpful. He was involved with a couple of jobs in the last couple of springs, and I thought it was a matter of time before he got an opportunity, and here we are, and you know, it's the start of practice, but when one presents itself that makes sense, that you can get, you better jump at it. And he did, and he'll do a great job.
Stand in front, Chris.
Coach Chester Frasier really seemed to be your top recruit of the offseason, so to speak. What does he bring to the table, and why were you so immediate in targeting him for your top assistant?
He was on our first staff, as you recall, Chris. I didn't know Chester. He was with Coach Weber at Kansas State. I've had a bunch of really good ones. He's as good as I've had. He is a very, very good coach. He's a basketball man. It's a story in how we got there. I drove to Morgantown to see him unannounced, and asked him to come back. I didn't realize the utter disdain Illinois people have for Indiana. He said, I'm not going to Bloomington. So we were able to get him back, and on that same staff was Nelson Hernandez. So I drove across town. If you hadn't been to Morgantown recently, you haven't missed anything. Trust me. Drove across town to see Nelson. We're fortunate enough to get him back. But Chester's awesome. Such unbelievable energy and passion, and he's a great coach.
Mike, when we last talked to you, you did not have your full squad to practice with and such. What are your impressions now that everyone is here? How do the pieces fit?
Work in progress, David. it was a tad choppy as Neo was playing for his national team in the under 20 World Games in Greece, as a matter of fact. So we knew that we weren't going to get him here before the third week of July, maybe even the last week of July. We probably practiced with Neo and the whole unit. Dorn got here early July, probably had the whole unit here together for 10 to 12 practices late summer, which was a big deal. And then we continued those practices throughout the month of September. I gave him 3 days off last week. And we're all dealing with it. You got however many new people, 9. That takes some work. We're not going as long in the summer, and the continuation of the summer practices into September. But we're ramping it up now to 215, and I do think we've got ample time to get it all in a good place heading into the start of the season. That's only going to improve as we go along.
Then you also had mentioned back when we spoke, the group, that you weren't sure how good a shooting team this might be. Where are you now?
About the same place.
Really?
Yeah. I've got really good players, David. I've done it throughout my career with a number of guys that could really shoot it. We shoot the ball well. I don't think it's going to be an Achilles heel. We don't knock the bottom out of it like some teams that I've had. I said the other day, David, we're going to have some games where we make 12. We're going to have some games where we make 6. But defensively and other areas, we're going to be much improved. And I don't think I don't have a lot of heartburn about it.
On your right, Coach Damien.
Mike, you brought up that you'll figure out how the assistant roles will shake out.
Yeah.
With Chester having so much experience, JD having so much
Yeah.
experience, it seems like they have the capacity to take on a larger role and
Yeah.
multiple roles. How good do you feel about the staff you have in place now and making up for what?
You know what, Damien? Great. J.D. Byers is a really good basketball coach. Chester, we've talked about, and those other guys are doing a really nice job. I am very, very excited about the staff that we have in place, the operation, as a whole with Stephanie and Ace and others. I've got a really good staff, and that's essential in this day and age.
We've talked a lot about the newcomers, but the returners that you have on this team, do you feel like the foundation that they set last year and going through some of those growing pains is going to help with your group this year?
Yeah, it's a really good question. We really, really wanted to keep Shoot, Ben Hammond, Tyler Johnson, and Toby. We're fortunate enough to do that. Those 4 guys are good players. They're going to be better with better players around them. And those guys, that experience, when you're playing Tyler and Ben together so as much as I did a year ago, it was hard to see, but I knew every rep that they got over the course of last year would benefit them greatly as we move ahead. And they had a really good spring, summer, fall. They're playing really good basketball. I expect, probably 2, maybe 3 of those guys to be in our starting lineup. That's going to continue to work its way out as we move along. But they're doing very well. You know how much I enjoy coaching them, and all 4 of those guys are going to be key contributors to this team.
Right side,
Tucker.
Coach, you mentioned the defense a second ago, but what's the biggest improvement you've seen from last year's team to this year's?
We just moved better. We moved better. This is a long team. Now, Amani, who's really, really good, and I don't think I've mentioned him yet. Amani Hansberry is a really good basketball player. We could talk about a connector, an offensive connector, which is very important. If that connector's your 5, it's hard to switch with 5 onto a guard a lot of times. When your connector is your 5, that lends itself to some things offensively that can be really, really hard to guard. We're just getting into it. The nuts and bolts of it, were covered through the summer. What was the rest of your question, Tucker? I'm sorry.
No, you covered it.
Did I?
You did. One more question
Please.
is you've got a lot more talent, I'd say, in the backcourt specifically this year, just in terms of the depth. How have you seen their chemistry developing, and how do you think they're going to work off each other this season?
Well, I was going to mention our length. Neo's 6'9", Toby's 6'8", 6'9". Amani is 6'7", 6'8". His long arms and plays long. Just so much more versatility than I've had in recent memory. Again, Tucker, I go back to we're not the Lone Ranger here, and the number of new people we have. When you talk about a ball, the ball requires timing. It requires precision. It requires excellent cutting and passing, and all that takes some time. I'm very happy. We all are with where we are right now. We still have a lot of work to do, and I'm sure, everybody out there saying the same thing.
Go to Josh in the second row.
You talk a lot about needing a good team to have 2.5 point guards.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're where
I
you
do.
need to be
know
on that
what?
spot?
What's your name?
Josh.
Josh. You know what, Josh? When Neo visited, his dad is a delightful man, played professionally in Greece for a long time, a delightful man. And we're talking about 2-guard, small forward, point guard, and the dad said he's a playmaker, and he is a playmaker. He's got a lot of point guard skill set in him. So we've got Ben Hammond, who's really playing well, Isaiah Pasha, transfer from Delaware, who's playing good basketball, and Neo. I think I've got 3, not 2.5, 3, and I think if that's the biggest problem I've got, I'm okay. Avdalis and his ability to see over things, that's the best part of his game, I think, is his passing. He is an elite passer and a willing passer. If anything, through the 20 practices we've had with him, I've found myself encouraging him to shoot more than any other part of his game. He's defending well. He's very capable. He and Dorn played professional basketball for a long time now. I mean, they've seen a lot of plays, and they've been very, very well coached and understand. And they're, I thought, dropping Mike Young off in Hamburg, and I've got to make a go of it. Going to college and being coached by and their grasp of the language and the ins and outs of the game is quite remarkable. Very, very impressive.
What has Jaylen Bedford brought to your group?
I like him a lot, David. He's our best on-ball defender, which will get him on the floor a lot. He just celebrated his 29th birthday. I say that tongue-in-cheek. I thought it was 24. He's 23. Junior college to Oral Roberts to UNLV, where he played for Kevin, who's a really good coach. Jaylen Bedford's a good shooter. We need for him to make catch and shoot threes. He is a dynamic with the ball. Overbounce it a little bit from time to time, but he's a joy to coach, and he will play a lot for this team. He's a good player.
When you talk about defense, him and Tyler Johnson together, I feel like that's probably a pretty good combination. Yeah, I think
again I mentioned our versatility, David. We've got a lot of that. Ben Hammond's doing a really good job, and just so much bigger and stronger. Isaiah Pasha's a good-looking young man at 6'5", probably 205. So yes, we've got better pieces in that regard.
David asked you earlier about yesterday's news regarding Kevin Giltner. There was other Hokies news. yesterday with the Board of Visitors and the resolution that will be discussed and presumably passed on September 30th that's going to put a lot more backing into this athletics department. What is a veteran coach's reaction to that?
Incredibly excited. Beyond that, let Whit and President Sands answer any of those questions, but great things happening at Virginia Tech, and all of us are just as excited as we can be.
And then have you decided whether you will promote from within or hire from outside to replace Kevin?
Not completely. I do think I've got to do what's right by this team. I've got a good team, David. We're excited about this team. Who can we bring in here or elevate here that will keep the train rolling? And we're well on our way to doing that. Could possibly have something in place by this afternoon, tomorrow Thursday at the latest. Again, this started rolling last week, well before anybody was aware. Of course, I spent 30 years down there, know the president well, and had a conversation with him, know the AD pretty well. My wife's on the board of trustees. So I got some familiarity. I've got some familiarity with the place. I've got some insider knowledge that maybe some others don't have. In supporting Kevin, we have to do what's best for Virginia Tech and have possibly, hopefully, something teed up in the event that it works, and it worked.
And then just one more on Neo and Antonio. They are among about 2022 players who have come directly from Europe to the ACC this season. That's unprecedented. Do you think that those numbers may not continue at that rate, but they might?
They're going to.
Why?
I'm not knocking grassroots basketball at all. Our youth structure is quite good. Theirs is really good, just in terms of teaching, just in terms of skill development. It's going to continue. We're going to do more. We're going to put an even greater emphasis on it. Obviously, we're going to, do everything we can here. Nothing's easy, David. Neo was hard, but I like the agents that we deal with over there. Antonio Dorn is a 22-year-old sophomore. Abdallas has played a lot of professional basketball. He's a 19-year-old freshman. So it's going to increase. It's not going to stay the same or decrease. I'm certain of it. We've got some really good players over there, and a lot of times very skilled. Can really shoot the ball and really pass it. Not all of them, but for the majority, high basketball IQ people.
Got time for a few more. We'll go to the second row, Thomas.
Thomas, lay it
Coach,
on
how are
him.
you feeling about the front court depth-wise?
You're good. Versatility for a third time, Thomas. If I started today, I would start Amani and Toby together. I can move Dorn to the 5. I can move Amani to the 4. I can play Toby at the 5 a little bit. I can move Tyler Johnson to the 4 a little bit. But Toby Lawal is going to play a lot of minutes. Amani Hansberry is going to play a lot of minutes. But Christian Gerdak is doing a nice job for us, young man from Gonzaga in D.C. Sincere Jones from Churchland High School down on the coast has had some really good moments and is going to be a very good player around here. Just needs to see more plays. So I couldn't feel better about our depth across the board, honestly. But to your question, in the front court, feel really good about it.
And then shifting back to the backcourt, what have you seen from Ben Hammond in terms of his development?
Well, just growing pains out of him, and he had a really good freshman year. Just better, stronger, playing the spot better. He'll play with Abdallas quite a bit. I have played with 2 point guards on the floor at the same time often. I never thought there's anything wrong with that. You got 2 ball handlers and 2 guys that can distribute and make others better. You'll see a number of lineups like that, Pasha, included. Anybody else? Treat to see everybody. Brooke, pleasure. Wish everybody well. Go Hokies.